And relief tonight, a baby boy safe after a thief makes off with a truck, and inside, that precious little cargo.
Now, the red Ford F-150 pickup is still missing tonight, but that baby is not. He's expected to be okay, thanks to a Denver man. Liz Gilardi spoke to that man tonight. Liz, how fortunate that he was there.
I mean, really, Ann and Shannon, the man found the baby in this alley, still in his car seat next to a garbage can. Another neighbor tells us she saw that truck speeding by and it turned in right here.
I guess I was out there at the right time.
Who knew a trip to bring in the garbage can could be so eventful?
Baby was right here laying.
The 3-month-old found abandoned in Denver 2 hours after a thief stole a pickup truck in Brighton this afternoon.
So I walked up here and just picked it up and brought it in.
Officers were getting ready to issue an Amber Alert. One neighbor spotted the red Ford F-150 speeding down the street. She says it must have been going about 50 miles an hour and nearly hit her car.
Because he was coming fast. And then I seen him park at the turnaround because he couldn't get through the park. And then I heard him go through the alley, and then he sped up the alley.
Police have not said how the thief managed to steal the truck with the baby inside.
I hope the baby's okay, though.
The man who found him says he appeared to be okay, just in need of a new diaper.
Took care of it. We're used to babies, you know.
And that's coming from a man with 5 kids, 13 grandkids. So you could say, yes, he is used to babies. And we are so glad that he was in the right place at the right time. Police still looking for that truck and the suspect. So if you see that truck, call 911. Reporting live in Denver tonight, Liz Gilardi, Denver 7.
You're all glad he was there, Liz. Thank you. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation now is being called in to investigate a 30,000-acre wildfire burning in northeast Colorado. The view from above shows just how massive that thing is. Investigators have pinpointed the property where the fire started and say the homeowners are cooperating. The fire burned 5 homes and several other buildings, and ranchers just now are taking stock of what they lost.
We lost some livestock, and it's devastating because it's our way of living as well, and they just suffered so bad. Some of them we had to destroy ourselves.
Brandy McConnell there says she and her husband had to put down nearly 200 cows and calves who were caught in the flames. And firefighters from the Metro who helped fight that wildfire are now further east where fires are burning 400,000 acres tonight. A West Metro fire crew shared the video there on the left of the flames they are up against tonight. At least 6 people have been killed in fires in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas.
Tonight, a fascinating perspective on the current state of the U.S.
And it comes from a Burmese refugee who fled civil war and is now living here in the Metro. Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski has her remarkable story.
And Jen, she says what's going on here, well, she finds it concerning.
She came here 18 years ago, but she says this year has been the hardest. She knows what it's like to live in a country illegally and has seen firsthand what happens to a polarized nation.
This is my daughter and my son.
Drusi Bathan came to the United States as a single mom.
You sleep without worrying that somebody will come and shoot you.
Determined to create a better life for her 2 kids.
This year, I think, hit me the most.
This year, the civil war and targeted ethnic violence she escaped from in Burma.
I didn't expect to see this in U.S.
She's starting to see signs of here.
Divided is a disease that will kill your community. First step of the falling of our country.
Born a part of the Karen state.
This is the picture of my dad when they were living in the jungle, trying to defend the Karen people.
Bathan was forced by the Burmese military regime to live in a refugee camp. After they set fire to it, she fled to Bangkok, where she lived illegally for 3 years until she was granted refugee status in the U.S.
Keep my kid in an apartment. I didn't let them go out.
She says she understands how undocumented families must be feeling.
I don't want to see anybody in my situation that I go through that.
Her family is now saving up money and talking about what they'll do if the place they came to live better can't offer that anymore.
people are divided, all you see is the fighting and the killing, the bloodshed. And people didn't like each other. So that is something I never wanted to be happening here.
Bathan and her kids are American citizens, so they don't have to worry about being sent back. Her concern is if she loses her job or other opportunities that allow them to live here. I'm Jennifer Kovaleski for Denver 7.
Thank you, Jen. And tonight, about a dozen people showed up at DIA holding signs to protest President Trump's new executive order banning travel from 6 Muslim-majority nations. The group was allowed to protest with only a day's notice following a federal judge's order last month. And when you get into your Wednesday routine, be prepared tomorrow. Thousands of women across the country say they will take part in a day without women. Organizers are asking women to stay home from work to show how vital women are to every aspect of life.
I want this to be what sparks change for the world that my daughter is growing up in. I don't want her to feel hindered by her gender.
A local group is calling on women to wear red tomorrow and organize a lunchtime walkout. And some school districts have canceled classes because teachers won't be there.
Some are calling it the next major public health crisis. And listen to this. Just since the start of this broadcast, another 7 Americans have developed Alzheimer's. That is 1 every 66 seconds. And by 2050, the Alzheimer's Association thinks that will double, 1 person every 33 seconds. And costs are adding up. For the first time this year, the cost to care for those with Alzheimer's will hit nearly $260 billion. But the Alzheimer's Association is hopeful that new research will help diagnose this earlier, eventually leading to treatment despite scarce funding.
All right, parents, alerting you tonight to a tenacious outbreak of the norovirus. This is in Denver's Montbello neighborhood. Denver Public Schools says 72 students and 5 staff members at Oakland Elementary called out sick today. Nearly 100 did that yesterday as well. And this week marks the beginning of an overhaul of public education in Colorado. Denver 7's Adam Hammond joins us to explain how certain underperforming districts are up for a possible state takeover because of an education plan, Adam, that started 5 years ago.
That's right, but right now some of those districts are pleading their case. They're trying to keep control of their schools, and it's crunch time for Adams 14. But that's the kind of challenge their new superintendent relishes.
There can be
Adams 14 schools perform below state standards. They've been improving, but not fast enough. So now the state board is set to get involved.
Colorado's accountability system said when you get to year 5, something has to be done.
New superintendent Dr. Javier Abrego promises big changes.
I'm not giving you scientific, I'm giving you evidence. Whatever worked in other districts, I'm just trying to bring here.
And that's what he wants to do, bring in an outside district to bring Adams 14 instruction up to standards in 2 years.
In our case, it's going to be an outstanding school district that has done outstanding work and is categorized as one of the top districts in their state.
The Vail School District near Tucson, Arizona will be paid to hold Adams 14 teachers accountable and reteach students who don't meet standards.
I think that's the biggest thing that we're going to be doing this year, is holding everyone accountable for their position.
Vail has had tremendous success turning around its district and helps other districts around the nation, everything from beefing up lesson plans to training teachers.
Why don't you turn and talk to the person sitting next to you?
Half the students at Adams 14 and even more parents don't speak English, and many live in poverty. The district is also focusing on working with parents, even home visits from teachers.
Please make sure that you send your child to school each and every day prepared and ready to learn. That's all we ask. If you do that, we'll take care of the rest.
Adams 14 will present this plan to the state board in a couple of months. But if that plan is approved, Adams 14, along with the other districts presenting their own plans, will have 2 years to make those plans work before the state steps back in. I'm Adam Hammond for Denver 7.
We're just getting started.
WikiLeaks reveals how the CIA is hacking smart TVs and cell phones. What you can do to protect yourself.
Plus, tot mom Casey Anthony breaks her silence.
I don't give a about what anybody thinks about me.
What she now says about the death of her little girl.
I did what I was told. I don't remember too much of what happened.
Wind and fire advisories about to expire. Calmer conditions are on the way.
And we're digging into the highs and lows of the metro housing market.
Next on Denver 7.
American Health Care Act transfers power from Washington back to the American people.
The bill that's been introduced is Obamacare Light, and conservatives across the country aren't going to accept it.
Republicans appeared in dueling news conferences today in our nation's capital. The vision from GOP leadership unveiled yesterday would keep some of the popular provisions from Obamacare. President Trump gave it his endorsement. But the conservatives, the Freedom Caucus, says this plan doesn't go far enough. Now, the Democrats don't like it for different reasons, arguing it will leave millions of people uninsured. 2 House committees will start reviewing the bill this week. New tonight, WikiLeaks is revealing how the CIA is hacking televisions and smartphones around the world. According to documents just published by WikiLeaks, the software can use smart TVs to record conversations using the TV's microphone. WikiLeaks also claims the CIA can hack into iPhones and Androids and eavesdrop on encrypted apps. Now, tech experts say if the CIA wanted to hack into any device, there's really not much you can do about it. Well, the documents also allege the CIA can access phones even if they're turned off. And beyond disabling the camera and microphone on your devices when you're not using them, there is one thing that can help keep hackers out.
Be conscious of the software and computers that you buy. Make sure they're updated.
The White House, the State Department, the CIA are not saying anything about the authenticity of these claims. Apple says, though, this is a quote, many of the issues leaked today were already patched in the latest iOS.
Casey Anthony says she sleeps pretty well at night. Her words. The infamous Tot mom just gave her first interview since her daughter Kaylee Anthony's death nearly 9 years ago, and in it she changes her story, saying she's not sure how her 2-year-old died.
I'm still not even certain as I stand here today about what happened. Everyone else has their theories. I don't know.
During her trial, Anthony's defense team claimed Kaylee accidentally drowned, and it was enough for jurors to find her not guilty. But the judge from the trial has revealed a different theory, believing Anthony killed her daughter accidentally by using chloroform to knock her out.
I don't give a about what anybody thinks about me. I don't care about that. I never will. I'm okay with myself. I sleep pretty good at night.
Anthony now lives with and works for a private detective, the same man who was the lead investigator on her defense team.
New at 10, just about everybody shopping for a home right now in the Denver metro has some outrageous story of the lengths they have gone to try to buy that home.
There are so few homes for sale, an 80% decrease compared to just 5 years ago, and demand has stayed strong. Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen is looking at how that's hitting first-time homebuyers especially hard.
This house in Littleton was described as a fixer-upper. It was listed for $300,000, and there were 23 offers. One of those was $18,000 over asking price, and that couple still didn't get the house.
3 living spaces in this one.
Kelly and Jake Rappling have been shopping for their first home for 2 months, but their last offer, $18,000 over asking price, wasn't good enough.
You have to go in so competitive, offering almost at least $20,000 over what the asking price is, which kind of blows my mind sometimes.
So in here we have an eating kitchen.
It's a seller's market, which Luis Jaime found out after he got a job in Fort Collins and listed his home in Southeast Aurora.
We listed it for $280 on a Thursday evening, and by the end of Thursday we already had 17 offers.
Good offers too, up to $50,000 above his asking price. Some offering to pay the gap if the house doesn't appraise for that much, or saying they won't nitpick problems at inspection.
We are seeing craziness in the housing market.
Realtors Jill and Greg Swinson say they've seen firsthand the impact of a housing market with a 32-year low in inventory. Not enough houses, high demand.
If anyone's out there thinking, should I sell? It is the perfect time to sell.
Meanwhile, the Rapplings are waiting by their phone to find out if their latest offer, $20,000 over asking price and covering a $3,500 appraisal gap, was enough.
I feel like there's a 10% chance we got it, even with our awesome offer. So we'll just wait and see, and then we'll go back at it if we don't get it.
In Littleton, Jacqueline Allen, Denver 7.
That hurts my head.
It hurts my head. And realtors say part of the logjam here is that families would have a hard time finding another home for sale if they sold the one they're in.
Yeah,
so
where do you
we
go?
Just stay where we are.
And you may be wondering, is there any chance of getting a house at or below asking price? Well, here's your dose of reality. Last month, a third of homes in Denver sold for more than the buyer was asking. A third. That's according to data from real estate search engine Estately. This 3-bed, 2-bath home near Sloan's Lake, it took the prize for highest percentage over asking at 22%. The seller listed it at $325,000. It sold for $397,000.
Oh my gosh.
Ouch.
Okay, here's some incentive to get to DIA a few hours before your flight. DIA was ranked first in the country for airport dining.
Reward Expert ranked our airport's restaurants highest in overall quality and second for price and variety. Now, they weren't exactly in search of fast food. They made special note of Root Down and Tapas Sky Bar in Concourse C and Crew Food and Wine Bar in Concourse B. And then those winds at DIA finally calmer tonight. Today, the FAA put the airport on a ground stop because of the strong gusts. In fact, I was one of the many passengers delayed today. That stop also caused a traffic jam on the runway. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson has a first alert on what's in store for us the rest of the week. Mike?
Check out this. This is from Lance Hernandez this afternoon when he was up in Logan County. That is the blowing smoke and dust from the strong winds that still whipped across northeastern Colorado earlier today. Take a look at some of the wind gusts that we had across the state. 80 miles per hour early today at Berthoud Pass. Jamestown near Boulder, 75. Larkspur, 67. And 55 to 60 all across the Northeast Plains. Fortunately, right now the winds are much, much lighter across the state. Still gusty up at Scotts Bluff and North Platte, but lower winds over most of Colorado. Along the Front Range, it's 39 degrees downtown, 34 at DI, 25% humidity. The air is dry, 1 degree on the dew point right now at the winds at 11 miles per hour. The high temperature was 54, 18 the low, 52 and 24 the normals, and 72 and -2 the extremes. We have a powerful jet stream that continues to crank across the country. Winds aloft about 120 miles per hour, and some of that momentum works its way down to the surface and brings us the gusty winds. Now tomorrow there'll be lighter winds than the last couple of days, but still with that jet stream